Derby County may be lining up some midfield additions in the sign of Oscar Fraulo, a midfielder who is owned by Borussia Mönchengladbach. Is 21 years old. He's currently on loan at FC Utrecht and he's been there since 2023. It is believed that he does have a buy option for the Dutch club. However, it believes that he is going to be recalled to Borussia Mönchengladbach over the course of the next couple of weeks before the end of the transfer window. This would add much needed presence for Derby County in the midfield, and he's a player who I believe could serve a real difference for Derby County. We know that Derby County in midfield are lacking a little bit in numbers and don't really have sort of the right players to be able to flip and change their midfield. Now, Oscar Fraulo is 21 years old. He stands at 1.8 metres tall. He's made 17 appearances for Denmark's under-21s, and obviously, as previously mentioned, he's currently on loan at FC Utrecht in the Eredivisie. He's valued at £3.5 million, which makes me believe this deal probably won't happen in a permanent transfer for Derby County unless it's a loan with a potential option in the summer. Now, across the course of this season, he's made 14 appearances, collecting just 1 assist with 1 yellow card, playing 750 minutes across the course of those appearances. Now, obviously, the big conversation and talking point will be his senior experience. He has a lot of it. He's played in the Bundesliga and he's played a ton in the Eredivisie, over 40 appearances there. He's also played in the Youth League, Europa League and places like that, which is massive for Derby County. Now, if we look at the places where he's played, he's been at FC Midtjylland, where he's made appearances for the under-19s in the Youth League, for the reserves and 4 appearances for their main team. He's played 48 times for FC Utrecht with 3 goals and 5 assists. He's played for Mönchengladbach's second team, 18 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. He's made 2 appearances for the senior team, but it doesn't look like he's going to make any more over the course of this season. Now, his best return was in the under-19s, where he played 40 games for Midtjylland, scoring 7 goals and 16 assists, and he's not quite been able to turn that into the senior numbers just quite yet, but still has a long way to grow. Now, he's played in a range of different competitions, obviously the Eredivisie and Bundesliga being one. You can see them on screen now, but he's got a lot that Derby County fans can like about him, and he can play across a range of different positions. Obviously, most notably that central midfield area, where he's played 84 times with 12 goals and 20 assists. He can also play in that holding midfield role. He's played there 17 times, collecting 2 goals and 4 assists across the course of his time there, as well as playing a few times in attacking midfield on either wing as well. Now, the link comes from Sports Witness, who claim they are global football intelligence, and they claim that Derby County have lined up the transfer robbery of an Eredivisie club. This was reported on the 20th of January. You'll be seeing this on the 22nd, I believe, depending on if something moves with this over the course of the next few hours, maybe. And Soccer News is the Netherlands. In the Netherlands is reporting on Monday Derby County lined up to commit what they call a transfer robbery of an Eredivisie club. The man in question and who the Championship club are looking to sign in the coming days is Oscar Fraulo, a midfielder. The 21-year-old is owned by Bundesliga club Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's been on loan at Utrecht since 2023, and with the latest season-long loan having a buy option. Now, for me, there's a massive opportunity for Derby County here to pick up what I believe could be a really, really good player. I think, obviously, I'll try and put some clips throughout this video like I've done in a couple of the recent ones. I've found a way that we don't get copyright strikes for it, so I think it's a good way to be able to show people what these players can do. And I do think there's an opportunity for Derby County to be able to improve that midfield depth and then be able to give us better options in the midfield. Now, judging by his numbers, I think he could provide an extra creative edge for Derby County, sort of in a similar sense of the way Max Bird did when he was playing a little bit deeper. Now, for me, Derby County are missing that pivot player. We don't seem to play with one with Paul Warne. We've done it a few times with Corey Smith, and I spoke about it last year, well, 2023, after the Blackpool game where we got absolute... Was it the Blackpool game? It might have been the game after. But I spoke about it in there, how if we can get into a pivot and be able to play the ball that way, then we'll look so much better, because you can move teams around by using the pivot, but we just never use it for some reason. And when we do use it, it normally seems to be with Ibu Adams, and I just don't quite think Ibu Adams has the capability to do that. And you don't want Kenzo sitting too deep, because then it makes him ineffective going forwards. You've then got Ben Osborne, who in my opinion has played the majority of, well, it's not my opinion, he's played the majority of his career on the wing or at left wing back, and the most of his central midfielder appearances have come off the bench or with limited minutes. And it's really difficult watching Ben Osborne in the middle of the park, because you know he's got the football intelligence to do what he's trying to do, but he just can't do it sometimes. And maybe it's because he's not played the position consistently, and hopefully as time goes on he'll be able to find that. But ultimately Derby County do not have time. Over the course of the last few days, we've obviously lost Curtis Nelson to a major injury. Paul Warne's been given the back in by David Clowes, which ultimately you'll probably know if you watch my videos that I'm not entirely sure on that decision. Now, for me, there's a lot that needs to change for Derby County, and the way we use our midfield is one of them, because at the moment we ignore them. Kenzo has to go out to right back essentially, or left back, to pick up the ball a lot of the time. It was the same with Marcus Harness, and we go back, Marcus Harness when he was playing in the 10, we go back a few years to under Wayne Rooney and Liam Rosenior. Now, what we did then was very different to what we do now, because we'd push our fullbacks, bomb them on, whether it be Forsyth, Buchanan, Nathan Byrne, Kamil Yusviak when he played at wing back every now and again, or whoever was playing on that right hand side. We bombed them on and put Bird and Shinnie in those like fullback positions as false fullbacks essentially, to get them on the ball in those positions. And then we'd have our wingers tuck in really narrow, which was Jason Knight, Tom Lawrence, Festi Abaseli, Malcolm Ebioe. Now, depending on who the winger was would depend on how we'd play it. If we played Festi or Malcolm on the right, for example, Nathan Byrne would normally invert and things like that. And like, we rotated it. Now, for me, with Derby County right now, we don't seem to have anything like that, where you've got players moving positions. And it makes it really, really difficult. And, well, it makes it really easy to read, but it makes it difficult to create proper high-quality chances, because you can't pull people about. Now, when Max Bird would drop out to left-back, or Graham Shinnie would drop out at right-back or whatever, one of them would always stay in the middle, one of them would go out on one of the wide areas, and the full-backs would bomb on. And you'd end up getting, like, Davis and Jagielka to split. And it was really, it worked really well a lot of the time. Now, obviously, sometimes it didn't, but that's just the part you have to play. And for me, you pull out that midfielder, it pulls someone with it. If someone goes with him, it opens up that gap in the midfield, and you've got the man in the middle who can get on the ball, turn and go. And then if it doesn't, if the man stays in the middle, you've got that guy at left back or right back or whatever who can pick up the ball, find a pass into the channels, look at another man who's going to be in the middle. Because if that guy's gone to press the pivot, then the guy at left back is wide open with potential options further up the pitch of maybe a number 10 or your number 9 dropping in to collect the ball or something like that. You have one go in, you have one come in, and it's a really, really good opportunity for Derby. If we can create the technical quality that we need in midfield to be able to do that, then we could be in a great position in the future to be able to go ahead and start playing like that. Now, ultimately, in my personal opinion, I don't think we're going to see it under Paul Warne. That is just my opinion. But I do think that in the future, those possibilities are there. And I think right now, I don't necessarily think we have the players to properly play through the midfield, because I don't believe Ibu Adams is technical enough to be able to go forward in that capacity. Now, I think Ben Osborne and Kenzo can both do it. I think Liam Thompson can do it. I think he did it really well under Wayne Rooney and Liam Rosenior. But it's one of those for me where we've lost a lot of technical quality when we let go of Conor Hourihane, Max Bird, Corey Smith and things like that. Now, Corey Smith and Conor Hourihane would have never been good enough for the Championship. And we see that now by the fact that Hourihane's retired, Corey Smith is playing for Cambridge. So it's difficult, really. But we've lost a lot of technical ability. We need to find it again, and we need to be able to build through the team rather than this whole wide and cross, wide and cross. Now, obviously, with Lars coming into the team, which could potentially happen tomorrow, I don't believe it will, if I'm completely honest. But with Lars potentially coming into the team, the crossing discussion comes back again. And for me, I just don't believe that crosses are the best opportunities you can create. Headers are difficult opportunities in the first place. Bouncing balls are difficult. Volleys are difficult. like you want to give yourselves the best possible opportunities, and I just don't think we do that in our current style of play. Could Oscar Fraulo help Paul Warne change his style of play and find a way to work with Derby County? Let's wait and see. Is he going to sign? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button as well. I'll catch you in the next one.